Welcome back to another episode of Vendors Table. I'm MC Midday. Today we are joined by two recent brides.
Yep.
Moyo and Oyin.
Woo!
How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah.
Wonderful. You guys got married what months and what year? July 23.
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, okay. Oh, so you're
Month
really
of
doing
wedding.
compare and contrast. Okay. How's the weddings?
It was lovely.
It was good.
Yeah?
Really
Yeah.
good.
It was a one-bear situation.
Mine for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Party. Yours as well though.
Yeah.
How many guests did you both have?
I had 120.
120?
I planned 400. We ended up with 600 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting to that.
Yeah.
We're getting to that. So it went up by 200 from what you planned?
That's how much. That's what the caterer said that they fed on the day. You know,
Yeah.
people
fine.
people shuffled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even
it
wearing
might not have
Ashrabi.
been like 600 at any point.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, so
How'd
people
you
were
have-
splitting Ashrabi
You
together.
have Ashrabi, you're not invited.
Yeah.
That's what they do, you know. Some people have
They'll
half
be buying
top
for...
and
It's mad.
Like there was someone who was buying extra.
Yeah, I told
For
you
people
on the
that she
link.
didn't
I was
know.
seeing names. I was like, oh yeah, that's for my mother-in-law. Why is your mother-in-law coming to my wedding? Yep.
that's why we need those advances that aren't African, that they disrespect to of nobody
Yeah.
equally.
We nearly booked one.
Yeah, I said she needs
We
security.
nearly
yeah.
booked
Is
one. We're
it?
going to do respect.
Yeah.
My friend's wedding, they had access cards. So if you didn't have an access card,
Yeah.
you're not getting in.
Go home.
It doesn't matter. You can be
That's
dressed head to
smart.
toe in that
Go
Ashrabi,
home.
you're not coming in. I think that's it.
Smart.
People need to be
Yeah.
enforcing that. All right, cool. We'll get into more wedding chat. But before we do that, we'll do a quick dilemma.
Ooh.
We'll do a dilemma. So yeah, usually we start with something, but we'll do something a little bit different today. And you guys are both actually recently been married, so you might have an idea on this. It'll be interesting to see what you guys do for this. So I'm feeling a bit stuck and would like some advice. My fiance and I really love the idea of a first look, as we're both criers, so want to avoid being a sobbing mess for the ceremony, and still have the makeup artist around to fix it. And also love the pictures that we've seen of other couples doing it. However, I've been looking online for other UK couples that have done this, as I've come across a lot of derision and pushback from people on the idea. This is making me a bit nervy, as my mum is already being much more traditional and pushy than I had expected. So I'm already seeing this as a potential point of contention with her and want to avoid that with others too. Also, I've seen posts talking about how it takes away the magic from walking down the aisle. I have no clue or idea if it's a good idea or not.
Ooh.
I had this dilemma.
For
You thought about it as
real?
well?
Yeah.
What did you do in the end?
I ended up doing the first look.
Yeah?
But that was because of like the order of the day. My plan was just like, let's get all the bridal party photos and
Okay.
the first look photos done before the ceremony even
Fine.
starts. So you can actually be more present,
Mm-hmm.
you know, after the ceremony's done with guests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember like weighing up pros and cons. Obviously it's nice if you see each other for the first time at the aisle. It's like so emotional and stuff. I think to be honest, you'd still be emotional.
That's what I was going to say.
I think
Did
you'd
he still cry?
He didn't cry. He cried like during like the worship bit. I think that was because I was crying, to be fair.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Toby cried. And we
Yeah.
did first look, but because we did our registry the morning of.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
They'd already seen
Yeah.
it.
So you'd only
so
seen
I
him by
was
that
like-
point. Okay.
So then
Yeah.
I was like, let's do a first look since we're doing the registry. But we'd signed by the time I walked down the aisle, and he still cried. I don't think you can
Yeah.
take away from
Okay.
the feeling. I think the
Yeah.
emotions are still there. And if you want to do first look,
Just
do first
yeah.
look. Like, 'cause
Like,
But I think it's that thing of like, it's the expectations of other people that makes you
yeah.
decide to do things differently from where you'd want to do it.
but it's literally going to be her husband, the photographer, possibly the coordinator.
Yeah.
Like nobody else has to know where and when you're doing it. Like
True.
there's so much
Exactly.
happening that morning. Like,
So what was your mum not?
my parents
like,
were still
looking-
getting
they were
ready.
not looking
My
for you that
parents didn't know
morning?
either.
Where's my daughter?
We did ours in the car just before when I pulled up for the registry.
Yeah.
Just before I came down, they had him like walk to the car and it was like tinted.
Mm.
And then it was just a wind down and we just had that minute to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in the garden of like the hotel
Yeah.
garden-ish area, And my parents were like still wondering about, like, my fiance's mom was still at the time still wondering about. So.
Fiance, you're still calling. Yeah.
Husband. At the time, he wasn't husband yet. But yeah, like,
Do it.
just
do your
do it
first
if you
look.
want to do it.
Honestly,
Like,
do your
Okay,
first
so we're
look.
going do first look.
yeah.
Are we saying do first look? Or are we saying do whatever you want to do and don't care what anybody else thinks?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she feels really compelled to like do the first look, do it. If it's a thing where she's like, oh, but I don't want to, I want it to still be magic. I mean, I think it'll be magical either way.
Either
but
way, honestly.
whatever she chooses, as long
Yeah.
as she's happy with it.
Mhm.
Like,
That's the thing.
No,
But
no.
okay,
because mommy said so.
Don't mind mommy. Mommy will be alright.
Like,
were there any things that you guys did
yeah.
that you wanted to do, but then because of like other thoughts or opinions or stuff, you did differently?
Yeah.
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 And then okay, in fact, let's get into that. What were they?
I had a lot. My wedding was very much like for everyone, I think, is quite an iterative process. So I initially wanted something even much smaller than the 120. I wanted something like 50 people,
Okay.
right? And that was what I presented to both sides. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, we can maybe do that. Or even if it's just the registry, then we can go for like food after. And my
You
mom was
presented that
just
to
there
African
like,
parents.
your fire's not gonna eat any of what I was suggesting. So I was just like, you're just making, where's this coming from? Because she wasn't, then I wouldn't consider them like hell bent on like tradition.
Mm.
So I was just like, what's going on? Like, so I had to sort of shift and change things a little bit. But yeah, that was like one of the things that she was a bit like, no, the food has to be Nigerian. And I was just like, so we're still going to get caterer, even if it's not going to be a big wedding. What's the point? You might as well just do it big.
Yeah.
Make it bigger. Yeah.
Why am I ordering food
So-
in for
Because of my dad.
family? Like, that doesn't make sense. But
So then, do you wish that you didn't do it that way, having done it after?
I'm not going to lie to you. I loved my wedding day, but looking back, especially with how much was spent and all that kind of stuff, I do wonder, like, I've said, like, in an alternate universe, I probably would have just stuck with the registry. Like, it was equally as beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was equally as beautiful.
Mm.
And, like, I would have had, like, family and maybe, like, one or two friends from either side there.
Wow.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it was nice either way.
Yeah.
And your thing that you
Mine
did.
was guest count as well. Like
Guest
I
count,
was.
yeah.
Where did I even start with guest count? I think I always wanted something bigger. I was thinking
Yeah.
like 150, 200.
Yeah.
My mom, no.
Your
Mm-mm.
mess up was
From-
the mess up.
From
I'll tell you why.
200 it was
I will
already
tell
enough.
you where I messed up.
Yeah.
It was, so I think me and my mom, we then agreed 300. Yeah, I think I got them to agree 300, 350, and we're good. They were pushing 350, we were at 300.
Yeah.
And then me and Toby found a hall, and then we went to go and shout the whole capacity to my mom.
Yeah, that was the mess up.
That was the mess
I
up.
literally said to my mom, I was like, oh, mom, invite your 350 people.
We
The
got
hall
room.
sits like 600.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how guest list was spreading. My mom was trying to fill that 600 until coordinator was like, no. Your guest count isn't what your hall can sit. What about table? What about chair? Like,
Oh man.
oh, my mommy. I love my mommy.
We love you, mommy.
I love my mommy.
I feel like when people talk about weddings, they say that the two things that usually present most of the issues: money and family. And everybody that I've spoken to is prior to the wedding has been like, "Oh, no, my family are fine," until the dragons arrive. Is that what you guys found? Yeah.
It awakens a new side to them.
Yeah.
Like, I saw my mom in it. Like, my mom is, I would say she's quiet, but I'm
Yeah.
like, girl,
Yeah.
you like to party. Love her for it, though. I loved my wedding.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, thank you, mommy.
No, like the things that she did like
She did well.
really, really
Yeah.
diligently.
Well,
Yeah.
even at Shoaib, I didn't want.
Yeah.
When we now saw it, me and Toby
See
were
the
like,
packaging, everything.
this
Yeah.
thing makes
the
sense.
branding.
We're
It was
so doing
nuts.
it.
It turned out well. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, they're putting their money down.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they were putting some money in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Stick with
issue
that.
was people who were suggesting things and then not contributing anything.
Yeah,
So I'm just
to
like,
make that
step
suggestion
aside.
happen.
Step
Literally, go
aside.
away.
So what?
Yeah.
So how much then? How much did we spend overall?
On the white wedding, no.
Yeah,
The
white wedding. Let's
Trident.
do
Let's
white
just
wedding. Let's do
exactly.
white wedding.
Let's leave. My white wedding was probably my tracker and everything says 40k, but that doesn't cover like cargo
Okay, fine.
and some other things. So we shall round it to 50k.
Okay.
I'm whispering the figure because it's like I can't even hear it.
Don't worry, the mic picked it up.
Like Moyo, you have money.
50k.
50k.
You have money.
I didn't
That's
even
just
think
the
the
white
wedding was
wedding,
that
yeah.
big.
I'm on this life.
I didn't even think it was
Have
that
money.
big.
400 people is not big.
400.
Yeah.
When everyone was saying it, when I was watching this show and it was like, your guest count is important, I was just like, we will do it. We will do make it happen.
I mean, yeah, guest count is the main driver for
Yeah.
lifting up costs.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
No, but
I
did.
didn't
Because
understand.
if you think there's a lot of stuff that is calculated per person. So
Yeah.
you're thinking
Yeah.
drinks, you're thinking food, you might even think tables and chairs, depending on the number of people.
Everything.
Decor now is impacted by that.
Mhm.
So effectively all your big items, most of them
Yeah.
increase per person. So every additional head is an
Yeah.
additional cost.
More. I think catering was one that baffled me until we spoke and you were like, yeah, but if you go to a restaurant, how much? Like, in my head, I never fathomed what catering would be.
per person.
Yeah.
Like it's decent.
I was like, 4,000, we will feed everybody. I was so silly.
Okay, and how much was yours overall?
Overall, everything's coming to maybe 35 to 37k. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was for the 120.
120. You see
120,
that we
yeah.
tried.
Yeah, that was 120. And I didn't have a traditional, so yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
fine. So what we're doing? Okay, 37 you said, yeah?
Yeah.
What were the original budgets?
Oh, let's not talk because I don't even think I understood what budget meant in the
Yeah.
beginning. I thought I could do this whole wedding for 10k.
10k?
Yeah.
Wait, before or after your mom confirmed 350?
Before.
Okay.
No, even during. Like, me and Toby, I think we booked 3 things. We booked venue. We booked... What else did we book that we were happy with ourselves? We had our own clothes. We had... Really, I booked Mr. Logo. I said, yeah, my wedding is done.
It's complete,
It's
yeah.
complete. Hadn't looked at
Hadn't even
catering.
started.
Hadn't looked at drinks. No one was
Videography,
eating.
photography.
Nothing. I was like, yeah, I can do this. We've only spent 7k.
Yeah.
I've got this.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I was saying probably 10k less, so like 25.
You were saying,
Okay,
oh
fine.
yeah, 25. No, you
Yeah.
were
It's
realistic.
a bit closer to the... Yeah.
I wasn't realistic. I was watching things and I just thought everybody's making stuff up. It can't be that expensive.
What I was unrealistic about was like the individual budget for things. I thought,
Okay.
no, like venue. Why does it have to be 8k,
Right?
9k? Like, why does it have to be that?
Yeah.
I can get one for 2k, 2.5. Don't worry, I'll find one. I was there scouting the whole of the UK. I didn't find
Oh
nothing.
jeez.
Yeah.
What I loved was we started planning yours first
Yeah.
now, so I was getting an idea of prices, and I'll tell my husband now, Toby, I'll be like, babe, do you know this how much this is? He'll just go, no. Go and bring the alternative. Which one is no? like no. Which price have you found? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price does rack up quite quickly when you look at everything in total.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could do it again,
Mm-hmm.
would you do anything differently?
Oh.
Would you add another vendor? Would you take a vendor away? Would you have gone different? Not like anything. Would you have done anything differently?
I would have leaned on like friends and people more.
Okay.
I think it was towards the end that I realized how much even the vendors, like the people that you book, are willing to give you, like how people go above and beyond. But even like my bridesmaids, my friends, people that can do things, I think from the beginning I wouldn't have had this mentality of I have to pay for everything, I have to do everything. Be willing to use the skills that we have in house. Yeah.
Okay. But you felt like initially, or when you were planning, you felt like it was all on you guys to make it happen.
I'm a very like, I don't want to disturb somebody. I don't want to bother somebody. But a lot of people want to give. And it was towards the end when there was no more budget that I realized people really want to do stuff. And I could have benefited from this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one.
For me, I think in terms of, I think the venue search was probably the most frustrating thing for me, the whole process. So I wouldn't change anything but that process and the way I went about it.
Yeah.
I think I was very like sort of penny wise, pound foolish sort of thing.
Okay.
And I think obviously just hindsight 2020 in it. So like I'm grateful for the venue I found, because for the price that I got it for, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Where did you use?
I used Surrey National Golf Club
Okay.
in Caterham, and like they do weddings, but they're just like, it's mostly like a golf club.
Okay.
So they had it as dry hire, and they were like, they don't even change the price based on season. It's literally
Really?
4K the whole year round. So I was just like, I could do a summer wedding. So it was fantastic. Before we were looking at autumn, because I was like, I have autumn money. I don't have summer money. Like, I don't have summer money. But like in my mind, I was like, I was so fixated on the venue cost. I think looking back, I would have loved to have had a place, even though I loved the hotel we got for accommodation. I would have probably loved to have a place that had everything on site. So accommodation for my bridal party as well as the venue there. And like just close my eyes and pay the 8 to 10K, because it ended up being about the same.
Okay,
Oh,
well, you
because you
included
do
all
it
of the
separately.
logistics and
The cost to me for the accommodation and then for the venue was 8K in the end, so I could have just paid it. So.
Okay. What was the most surprising wedding cost? Could be the most expensive, could be like something you thought would be expensive but it was
Flowers.
cheaper.
Flowers. You're not ready for how much fresh flowers cost.
Was that deco? Yeah, you said flowers.
Yeah, like, because I got my decoration done with the hall and everything. I wasn't trying to spend extra on that. But flowers as a bouquet. What the bridesmaids will have, the buttonholes.
Okay, the boutonnieres and the guys.
I just didn't. When I'm hearing 800, I said, did you great? Like, are you the one that don't understand?
Maybe they're great.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they're great.
It is a it's a skill. It's a skill to like put bouquets together.
No, it was
knowing what
silly.
colours and what flowers
what
and
to
what.
go-
I didn't even know that
exactly.
you can't get certain flowers in
In
certain
certain
seasons. and-
Me, I was like,
So-
I want pink. So I
Yeah.
didn't have any clue like what kind of
Yeah.
flowers. But to be fair, the way I got my flowers from Morrison.
Yeah.
I literally went in and started ranting to the florist in there, and she was like, I could do it for you. I said, How?
She did a fantastic
She did a
job.
Is
fantastic.
it?
And how much I paid? She picked out everything she would need from Morrison, and that's what I
Really?
paid for.
She
Her
paid for
putting
the
it
actual
together,
services, yeah.
everything.
Really?
So honestly, you don't know where God will send you favor.
How?
Like,
Yeah.
because
It's
and
true.
I did it last minute. I was like, money has finished.
Mm.
We've spent the money. There's no more money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, nice. That's different. I've never heard that one. That's different. That's a good
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, people are still asking me for her name. I'm like, sorry. Sorry.
Don't be a gatekeeper.
Is that gatekeeping or
probably
you've forgotten the
not.
name? Which
But
one?
you've not seen her.
I've
since
not
then,
seen
to be
her.
fair.
If she
Okay.
wants to do business, can I do business together? But say I will give you a please. There's money to be made in this industry.
What, you want to collect the money, then go find her?
No.
I'm her partner. I'm the agent.
Oh. So that was your surprising cost in terms of, well, what you thought, what you quotes you were getting, plus
Yeah.
how much you ended
What
up
I
paying for it.
thought. Yeah.
Well, yours?
What was mine? I think the decor.
I was
Well,
going to say decor. But
I say that, but then I was just like, by that point, I feel like I knew that it's just scandalous. The wedding industry is scandalous. I think it was when I was starting again, just the cost of venues, especially when it's just dry hire. I'm not looking for you to do much
Don't do
more than
anything.
that. And I
Yeah.
was just like, wow. Like all the places that I'd seen that a lot of Nigerians had use, especially in the Essex area and stuff. I was like, okay, I see people use it.
person
It's
did their
come
wedding.
on.
Then how
Go
much
for
people are
it.
paying.
All these places. I'm like,
Nothing
people
common
use
about the
it.
price.
There's nothing common about the
And the
price.
minute you say wedding.
It doesn't even, they know.
Do you know
You're
what used
calling,
to
they
get me
know.
though? Was when you would call even videographers, photographers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how much is it? And no one's saying the price. They're like, let me book a call with you. And then they talk to you like,
They're
it's
gonna
your big
tantalize
day.
you,
It's your
and
dream.
then
I
they're gonna
said,
drop the
"Oja,
price on you.
How
Yeah.
much is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's the tactic.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was like, so people, this is what people are spending.
This is what
I
people are
said,
doing.
It's not gonna
That's
be
what
me.
people are spending, yeah.
But it
And
was us.
It was in the end.
In the end,
But that's
yeah.
it's like, I was even saying before that, obviously, like you said, how you guys, you see these, that people using these access venues and everything, Oh, not be that much. But when you like,
Yeah.
when you actually look at the numbers behind it, people are spending a lot of money on
A
these
lot.
days. These ones the type of weddings the ones that you see often on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people, obviously, because all you're seeing is just the pictures. You don't see what people spent on these weddings, and people spent like say £50,000
Even more
on these kind of
now.
weddings. Yeah, 50, 60, 70,000 pounds on a
Yeah,
wedding.
because I'm like, if my wedding was now when
Think
I see stuff
about it. What we
online,
did was very baseline. Like, it's not like there
I
was
don't
fireworks popping up anywhere. There was no smoke machine.
I
There
didn't have
was.
smoke machine.
We didn't do all of that at Serere. So
I feel like I was still
You
JJ in
know?
some areas.
and it's just
So what did you? Alright, so paint me a picture of your wedding days. What was your wedding day like? What was it like? Decor. What if I walk into the wedding day? What am I gonna see?
I'm going to show you a picture. No, it was my day was very. I don't think the decor wasn't something I spent loads of money on. I got that with the hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got decor. I got all of
What
my
venue
furniture.
do you use?
I use Surrey Banqueting Hall.
Okay.
It's
fine,
a
okay.
new one, so we got a really, really good price for the size.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that one I didn't care about. But catering was very, very expensive. I wanted live band. I'm an Uwamba girl. I like a party.
Yeah.
So, but we had. I'm just happy that for all the stress, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
That's the main
Me
thing.
and my husband, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good day.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And yours.
Describe.
Your
It
wedding,
was just wholesome. I just
It
wanted
was
it to be
very-
wholesome.
Yeah.
very boho, very
Yeah.
whimsical. Yeah,
I was very stuck on because I really wanted a particular look was rattan charger plates.
I spoke to Timmy about this
Rattan
the other day.
charger plates?
Rattan
Yeah.
charger plates. We spent 2 hours.
Yeah, I said I didn't want a
I was
gold
looking.
One.
I didn't even know
want a
that was a
gold plate.
thing.
No, I want a rattan charger
That was the
plate.
first thing I looked at when I came into
Yeah.
the hall that day. I said,
I didn't have it.
Yeah, I did
I
rattan
looked
charger
You didn't have
plates.
it?
I couldn't
What?
find it close enough.
I was searching
Wait,
for
but where
over
did
a
you get the
month.
idea to have such a thing?
It's Pinterest.
Pinterest,
Okay.
and you were losing sleep over this rattan charger
Yeah.
plate.
That's Pinterest in this wedding is the driver of money loss.
Oh my, it's dangerous, especially when you create that mood board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's a lot on there.
Yeah. It was
And you
just
can
very
definitely get lost in it.
terracotta, flowers everywhere.
Yeah, but
But it was
pretty.
cute. Yeah.
So what was because like for everybody has the one or two, or maybe the list can be longer, but things that are like really important to them on the wedding day, and they need to have it a particular way. Minus the rattan charger plates.
Yeah.
What were those things for you?
Definitely, like, it encompasses like just the decoration. I was
Yeah.
Okay.
very particular about it. Yeah, like the chairs. I really wanted specific chairs.
I remember you saying,
I hired them out.
You got them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you got the chairs
I
at
got the
least.
chairs. So yeah, the decorations. The other thing was like our bridal party. Like, I wanted to carry them along the entire time, and like we had quite a big bridal party, but it was like family. So
Okay.
I was just like, whatever it takes, you know. So like even the accommodation, I wanted us to spend time together the night before.
Okay.
We had a pre-wedding dinner. And yeah, so I think me just investing in those sort of things, little things, whether it's like subsidizing some of the costs for like, I was very fixated on that part as well. And probably the photographer, I think I was very like, I want my day to be
Okay.
captured.
So
in a particular
photography
way.
for you is more important than videography.
Yeah, I feel like just slightly.
Okay.
Really?
Just slightly.
It was until your last video that you posted. In my head, I never ever thought of one or the other. It was always, you have to have both.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to be fair, most people do go with
Yeah.
both. Because obviously they're capturing the same thing, but they capture it very differently.
Very,
Yeah.
very differently.
And some people are picture people, some people are video people.
Yeah.
So some people are so much more one than the other that they actually don't really care about the other. Some people actually just have a videographer or a photographer, but majority do have both.
Yeah. I mean, I loved both, and I think they complemented each other in terms of style. But yeah, I was more like, my photos need to be like this. Because I feel like with videos, because again, for me, I didn't want it to be like super, what's the word, like sort of cinematic. I wanted it to be
Okay.
quite real,
Okay.
So it's like-
I remember you said that.
candid and whatnot. So for me, I was just like, okay, cool. It's going to capture like real moments, like speeches and stuff and whatnot. But I wanted there to be a bit more like style and I guess flair with the photography and stuff. So
Okay. So did you find a videographer that had that exact style, or did you find somebody that was similar and was like, this is what I'm looking for?
No, I got who I wanted.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think those were kind of the first things you booked.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Videographer,
that's important.
photographer, venue were like the 3 things. Like,
Yeah.
and then the MUA. Yeah.
No, what did I book first? I booked venue, Mr. Logo.
It's your
I think I
priority.
the day I knew I was gonna get married, he was the first person I called. I didn't even have a hall.
Is
Yeah.
it?
I
And
called
he
him
was
in
like,
beginning of 2022. He said,
Yeah.
Moyo, nobody has taken your dates in 23. Well, book your hall. I was like, are you sure?
No,
I
I
was
remember
like-
that was.
Yeah.
So that was high on your list
yeah,
of
for
importance.
sure.
Yeah.
My husband was
big.
beefing me for it. Like, it's like, you can't marry Mr. Luga. I'm like, if you like, say whichever one you want to say, if you like. But he must come.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, live band was big for
But it was
me.
really good though.
Yeah.
So you're I'm guessing then like the entertainment atmosphere.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, like the music. But I was also particular about having an intimate bridal party. I
Mm-hmm.
think when the whole thing was made big with the guests and my mum was trying to put family in the back, oh, make this person your flower guy. I said, no, I literally want it to
you
be
kept it
my
very-
closest of close because they're going to be my view of the day. And
Yeah.
it really was. Like your bridal party is
very important.
your party. Like you're not going
Yeah.
to see a lot of people at the wedding,
Yeah.
especially if it's a big
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, music, food, yeah,
Okay.
those were important.
I'm gonna come back to that bridal party point because
Mm.
that's also very important.
Mm.
But on the point of importance, or the things that were important to you guys,
Mm.
were there any things that were important to you that were also important to your partner that you had differences of opinions on?
Mm.
It's true. Who's important?
He didn't even know he was involved in the planning.
I think for me, food.
Food,
Food
yeah.
was the most important thing to him. That was,
Okay.
Oh.
or not the most important thing to him, but the thing that he kind of like contributed quite a bit on. you know.
Okay. And you were fine with his contribution, or you had your own different
I felt
opinions on it?
Yeah. I mean, when we were at the table, I had a bit of a situation with my caterer. I'm not gonna lie.
For real? The person you ended up using?
No, the one before.
Oh.
So I had already booked. I had so much faith in my planner, and like she's amazing.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, she went above and beyond for me, and she'd basically recommended a caterer, and you know, from the outside, from the Instagram, like, fantastic. I was like, yeah, I was so excited, and she was a really lovely person, but then she'd done a wedding of one of my close family friends in December, so of the previous year, so last year.
2020. Okay.
2020.
Yeah.
And my parents had gone to that wedding. I was sick, so I didn't go. And when they came back, they were just like, wait, is that the lady you were going to book? And I was like, yeah. To be fair, that wedding was massive, but my parents were just like, cancel that.
Really.
That food did not hit.
Really.
That, yeah. It
Oh,
was bad. It was
wow.
late. It was cold. It was not nice. So I was just like, what do I do now? I've
And
already
you
paid deposit.
Deposit,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. But yeah, my planner, can I shout her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Abby, the
Bride's
bride's
helper.
helper.
Mm.
She got me my deposit back. Thank God, the whole thing. There was no issue.
wow.
And then I just had to find someone else.
Okay. dope. Yeah, Abby's brilliant, man.
yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad it got sorted
Mm.
without too much hassle.
Yeah.
No, I've thought about the question. Toby was
Yeah.
what was important to him, ceremony music. Yeah, that was very, very
Music,
important to
yeah?
him. For the ceremony.
Okay,
like,
fine. Okay.
The band, yeah, because I don't think I thought about it until late. It was like the drummer, then and because he's a musician, so that was very important. Apart from that, he was our budget, our money master,
Yeah.
master of money.
Yeah.
And so that one was.
He's the master of money.
Yeah. Someone has to be because Costco
Yeah.
run away
It's true,
very
it's true.
easily.
If not, I was in La La Land with
Mm.
what we
Yeah.
were trying to spend. The art of negotiating, it didn't enter me until
The money was now like.
until money was nearly finished.
Yeah.
Everyone was at their price. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yes. And then I'll
Yeah.
go back to me and they were like, you go and tell him we have. I'm like, no, babe, we can't pay. Like, I didn't. I just wasn't bargaining nothing. It's now that I look at the budget, I'm like, Moyo, you paid what for what? Why?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've learned. I'm better now.
Yeah.
But there's no.
Well, it is not married. It is not married again.
No, but towards the end, where I was haggling people,
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
fine.
doing it with the vim I
Vim.
should have started
Fine.
with.
As the money was reducing,
Yeah,
the haggling was
Was
You
increasing.
had to, yeah.
For everything. Like, are you
Yeah.
going to take, what if I pay cash? What if I did this?
Mm.
Fair enough. No, it needed to be done. Okay, dope. So then there wasn't much contention on important issues. Then it sounds like.
I'm for you. I
Mine,
think-
the main thing was having the wedding to begin with, because like Josh was like, he was just like, my wedding was basically the engagement that I did for you. Like the proposal was where
Really?
I was like, I did that. I took my time to plan it.
Yeah.
All of this that you're doing now, it's not necessary.
Why are they like that?
So I was just like, oh, okay, but on the day you'll be laughing and dancing, and he was
Smiling.
dancing and
Yeah.
he was smiling.
He enjoyed.
But like I hear it, like spending that much, like for him it was just like, I'm gonna just focus on like our friends and family and stuff and not think about all this extra stuff. So whenever I'd have to like share my frustrations with friends rather than with him,
We were-
because he was just like, I didn't want this in the family. But,
Toby,
yeah.
to an extent, like he just kept saying, you know, at the end of the day, it's just gonna be me and you. It's just like it's just gonna be me and you.
Yeah.
But I think his parents were very heavy on whatever Moyo and her family want, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that
Okay, fine.
they had that, because the only issues I had was internally. It was just me and my mom fighting things. But as my mom would say, it's just us. It's not passing. It's not passing here. But his family, it was just whatever Moyo's family wants. And so for him, it was just like, me, I just want to get married. That was
Fine.
his stance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
the families. I guess they understand that one is the coming together of two families, and if they're not too pressed about certain things, like if they really are, then if that makes them happy, then let's do it.
yeah.
On that point of family, segueing back into the bridal party conversation, you said you had some family in your bridal party.
No, I was basically saying that they're basically like family, but it
Okay,
was,
fine.
I ended up having like a very, I mean,
You
I
had
had
a
a
big
few,
bridal.
I had a big bridal.
But you had your siblings there.
Yeah,
you had-
yeah. My
some of
brother
Josh's?
was like, I don't want to be a groomsman. What do I have to do? So you have to dance. Do I have to do anything? I don't want to do anything. But yeah, so I had our siblings in the bridal party,
Okay.
but like it was largely like our friends and stuff, and it was a big one. Yeah.
Would you do it smaller or the same?
No.
Would you do it again?
Do you know what? It worked out really,
I think
really
it
well.
worked.
Yeah.
Everybody vibed. He had 12 groomsmen. I had 10 in
10.
total bridesmaids.
Okay.
So, yeah, 23 people in the bridal
Wow.
party.
Okay. So
But they
football
were all
team.
fantastic.
We had a party. It was
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
They were supportive bridal party.
Every single person pulled their weight. No
Mhm.
one had to be
Wonderful.
chased, which is kind of unheard of. They were all just wonderful. Like,
Was it how did you go about selecting your bridal party? How did you go about selecting that many people?
so for me initially, like I had like my core friends that were in my mind. I was gonna only really have 5 people to begin with, but then it extended to some of Josh's like family friends he'd grown up with. So some of the females were from his side that he knew,
Okay.
and then his guys. I think that's what made it hard. Like we couldn't have a small bridal party because he just has a lot of brothers and
friends,
guy
yeah.
friends, and I was just like, I just want 4. But it's not going to make sense 4 against 13 or 5 against 13 is not going to make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it just ended up being, I don't know. I don't even know how we whittled it down because it took years of like, I think that was the main contention when it came to our wedding, because it was just like he never wanted to exclude anyone. But I'm just like, but you need to pick. you need to choose.
See the frustration in your eyes.
I was like, you need to choose. So I think he was just like, at the end of the day, I ended up helping him pick, and the filter was basically like, had I interacted with them enough? Did I know them enough? Had they been like instrumental in our relationship? So that's how we kind of got
Okay,
it down.
that makes sense. And I think really like those are really the people that should be making the bridal party.
Yeah.
Because like they're the ones, and they're gonna be there with you
Yeah.
on the day, but
Like, they were all
ideally through the
fab.
marriage as well.
Yeah.
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 Yours was small. You said yeah.
Yeah, I had five bridesmaids. 2 are my sisters, and then the other 3 are basically like my sisters, like my best friends.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then 2 other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always knew my brides. Even before I asked you guys, we were already planning the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, so, and Toby, like him coming from Ukraine and being here, like he had these guys. So we had 7, I think, in the end.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Any advice based on your experience of planning a wedding?
Advice. I think from the beginning, know what you want.
Mm.
Because for me, I don't think I really knew what I wanted. Like I had an idea, but nothing that I was trying to stand on. So I'd say, when you're engaged or that, like don't get caught up in the whole Instagram, the hype of everything. Sit with your partner and think realistically, what do you want? Because that thing of cost, when it starts, it's like a boss. Once it starts, going. I know there were times me and Toby, like, we'd be in bed and it's like we were scared. We used to have this thing where we fantasize about eloping. It's like, oh babe, imagine if we just went. Imagine, like, honestly, like as much as I enjoyed my wedding day, thank God for family, everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you just didn't have? What are you gonna do if you just didn't have it? So I think really sit and know the things you want and be willing to fight for those things. I think I was so scared to fight for certain things. It's not that deep. Your mommy will be okay, your daddy will be okay. Like
Yeah, once it comes and goes.
Honestly, they'll even be happy on the day.
It all feels like such a big deal, and then it like
it's not that deep.
like
And what I've realized, even all these things that you think are important, Rattan charger plates, oh, I want this.
no
Like
one's gonna remember it.
no one. People, there's some things people remember. Okay, food, they have a good time. But think of the weddings you've been to. You've been to weddings where it's like, oh, it's a little community center, and you guys had a party. You had fun. So I think really thinking, okay, this thing is important to me. Why is it important to me? Is it an image thing? Is it like, oh, I want this person to come and see because it's your bank account that's like this. Yeah,
It's taking a hit.
There's really life
Those are my
afterwards.
tips.
Yeah.
I would say, I think my 2 things: don't watch Instagram.
Oh my god!
Because the weddings, it's true. Like the weddings that make it up there, like even the vendors that I worked with, obviously they're not posting every single wedding that they've been to. They're posting the ones that are like, Instagrammable. So don't go and be looking at Shola or somebody who's gone and done like a whole, production and think
Pretty much.
that is the standards, because then you'll just frustrate yourself. But in terms of like practical advice, one thing I think I did, but I wish I'd maybe, if I could go back and tell myself, I'd be like, look into things that you're not considering. Is when planning your budget, do the market research. So what I did was like, I'd basically told my bridal party, like I'd given everybody like different items or vendors, go look up what does this thing cost, and then come back, and then we can like figure out what the budget should be, what's reasonable for a budget.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I think like I did that largely for a lot of things, but then there were things that I hadn't considered, like drinks management. I didn't think about that. So when it came to it,
even coordinator, I didn't. Do you remember me? I was like, I am planning this wedding I'm doing.
I said,
it
no,
was
you
midday that
cannot.
made me think of coordinator.
Really?
Because I inquired with you, and then you were like, what's your number? What's your guest count? I said 400. He said, you don't have a coordinator. He said, your coordinator. I said 1 aunt. He said, oh, sorry if you don't have a coordinator.
God. That thing is too, especially when you get big numbers,
Yeah.
coordination is so important.
And then I was just like, what's a coordinator?
Yeah.
Like, why can I not coordinate? But now looking back,
Yeah.
even the trad, as small as that was, it was me. Everybody was calling on there. I was like, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who do you want them to call?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking if Bola wasn't
shouldn't
there.
be the one.
Oh,
No, you shouldn't. The phone shouldn't. You shouldn't even have your phone on already.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and I've seen it where people think, or they might just not even know about what a coordinator and
You
just
just
think,
think,
oh,
like,
just
what do
plan
they
the
do?
day.
Yeah.
It's only on the day that you then realize that there's no blocker for all the questions, and nobody has
You
the
can't
enough
even enjoy your
information.
day.
Yeah.
You're the only one that knows enough for people to come and ask the question to. So even if your sibling was involved in the planning, they weren't involved in every aspect of it.
Exactly.
So there's even some questions that they'll get, they'll be like,
and they'll
I'm
like,
gonna need to
oh.
ask the planner
Yeah,
as well.
you can ask the
Yeah.
Yeah. What
no.
was it that morning? The morning of my wedding, I was there getting my makeup done, and my brother came into the room and was like, "He's a groomsman," and I can't remember what he asked me.
What did he ask you?
He asked
Was
me
it
something
to do with the
ridiculous.
transport?
Like, no, he was like, "Oh, do you have an iron or something silly?" And I was like, "Bro."
On my wedding morning.
Like,
It's
in his mind, he was like, "Oh, my sister," but I'm just like, "There's a whole bridal party that you
Yeah.
could go
that
to."
you can yeah, no.
So yeah, even they
No.
make those mistakes. As
Yeah,
well.
it happens.
Mine was, I think it was my videographer that came
Yeah.
in and started asking me questions about the timeline.
Yeah.
And already I was panicking when he started saying that, and it was literally Deji, my makeup artist. She's like, "Please, can you go and talk to our coordinator, please? Can
Wonderful.
you leave the room?"
Yeah.
Because-
Deji Rachel.
yeah.
Wonderful as well.
Yeah, no, she
Wonderful.
was, and that's what I mean. Like, she was I was talking to Deji like she
Mm.
was my sister
Mm.
before, like asking her, "Do you know about this? Can you help with this?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the vendors you pick, they definitely make
Very
Make
important.
your
Yeah.
day,
I was about to
yeah.
say, like, some, obviously, depending on the vendors that you pick,
Mm.
they're very free and open with information. Like,
Mhm.
and obviously, people, if you've vendors that have worked with other vendors,
Mm.
would understand that, okay, some vendors that I've worked with, I can recommend them, or
Mhm.
they're able
Yeah.
to do this, or if you need something particular, I know somebody
Mhm.
that can do that for you.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
don't be afraid to ask the vendors that you booked as well.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
feel like they meet you halfway. Like,
Yeah.
our MC was there till God knows what time. Like, people,
Mm.
even Ologo was there till late. Like, everybody
Yeah.
just stayed, and it was just like,
Yeah.
even videography,
Yeah, my
photography.
videographer, it was so sweet. She stayed past the time that she was
Yeah.
supposed to because she wanted to catch the sparklers
Mm.
that we were going to have at the end. And even my MUA IBK, she's the one that recommended the caterer that we ended up going with.
Also
Mm.
brilliant.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's some good vendors.
Utilize.
we know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the vendors we had, man.
Yeah.
I love those people. I
Yeah.
feel like that's one thing. I'm like, for something we did on our own, we tried.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
it did well. So you guys planned it yourselves? Yeah.
No, I had partial planning with.
With Abby.
Okay. I planned myself, but I had Bola plan our wedding as my
Okay.
coordinator.
Okay.
Mm.
Also,
Yeah.
we're wonderful people.
Yeah,
Mm.
wonderful, very, very lovely lady.
Yeah. We need to get her here. Bola, I'm coming. Even Abby as well.
She's a
them
busy
together.
woman,
They're
but
so
yeah.
busy.
She is. They're all booked and busy.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quality speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Wonderful. Any last comments, advice, jab, bullets?
Enjoy your day. If you are going to spend the money,
Yeah.
money, enjoy your day. Make
Yeah.
sure that it's you that is shaking the leg for
Yeah,
real.
it's true.
Yeah.
Because what an expensive party. But yeah, me and Toby had a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't regret it in that way. I'm happy that, because there was sometimes I was thinking, oh, he's not going to enjoy it. We had
Mm.
a time from
Yeah.
beginning, and even the trad, beginning to the end.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'd say the same. Like, at the end of the day, it's just you two.
Mhm.
I think midway through mine, I was just like, my energy just dropped. But then I think what I would say is like, really and truly, like, pick the people that you're gonna be around like
Mm.
that day. The bridal party is so important.
important.
Like,
Yeah.
so important.
So important.
Yeah, like you said, even with the 120, it wasn't that many people, but I was interacting mostly with my bridal party, and they were
Mhm.
the ones that were keeping the energy, keeping everything alive. So
Yeah.
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 Dope.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, ladies. Thank you very much. Oh wait, one more thing before we go. So we got food provided for us by the wonderful Echo Cafe.
Woo.
So we'll give you guys one small chop, one rice each.
Oh, thank you. Let me pass it to you.
Yeah.
Come on, love.
Thank you.
There you go.
How cute.
Nice.
Keep my spaghetti
Good
till
vibe.
tomorrow.
A good chop jollof today still. Yeah, so shout out to
really
Echo
sweet.
Cafe.
This is really sweet.
You've really bust us on that
Thanks,
Oh,
Echo
wow.
Cafe.
Thank you.
one. Indeed. But yeah, so that's another episode of the Vendors Table. Join us next time. We'll be on YouTube, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. What's it? Apple Spotify? YouTube, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Join us next time. All right.
What are you going to
Let's see. Then what we got in here?
I
We
love
got-
how you pick the smallest.
I'm
I'm going
trying
to
to
go
be
into
messy.
the chicken.
Yeah, I'm going for some meat.
I'm going for some meat. Ooh. Flavorful.
And that, the wing is looking nice, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Shout out Echo Cafe.
Thank you.
Is this actually? That's what it's
I feel like it is, you know.
Was it turkey? I thought it was turkey.
Oh no, it's smoked turkey, I think.
turkey. I was
You
getting
said that.
excited. I was like,
My eyes were lighting up. Smoked turkey. I think they do have some other options in there as well.